Season 5 of Marvel Rivals is here right now. We have the brand new strategist, GAMBIT, added to the game. Rogue is going to be coming in the mid-season, but for now, we have a lot of changes to some of the heroes, along with some new team-ups, so here we go. Starting off with Angela, they've increased the movement speed of Assassin's Charge accelerated dash state from 16 meters per second to 18 meters per second, and they've also increased the Heaven's Retribution ult ability spear health from 600 to 800. Captain America is getting a buff to Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability. It has a new effect where allies within its path now gain a 30% boost to their ult charge efficiency. For Groot, his Ironwood Wall has a new effect where Groot himself gains the unstoppable status, aka he can't be stunned or CC'd, when he's within 15 meters of any of his awakened Ironwood Walls. For the Hulk, the Gamma Burst gets a new effect where each direct hit reduces the Indestructible Guard cooldown by 1 second, so if you hit multiple people, big cooldown reduction. For Magneto, they are separating the Bulwark cooldown, so now activating one won't send the other one on cooldown. However, in response, each of the Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark shield value will be reduced from 250 to 200. For his team-ups, the Mental Projection, so the Emma Frost, Psylocke, Magneto team-up, will be removed for Magneto specifically, and he will be the new team-up anchor for Gambit for the Explosive Entanglement team-up. Magneto will receive a new ability called Royal Blade. When activated, it'll replace this Iron Volley primary fire with a Great Sword. Look at that. This has unlimited range. It goes infinite, so you can shoot it across the map. It does damage and then a delayed secondary explosion for a little more at the end. Once you activate it, the time or duration of it will be indicated by the little semicircle in the center of your crosshair, and then it'll go on a 30-second cooldown. Penny Parker is becoming more of a team player now because allies that stand in her cyber webs will receive a 25% movement speed boost, 15% healing per second, and all the ally excess healing will be converted into bonus health up to 25. For the things in Battled Leap, he now will grant allies a 20% damage reduction within 5 meters of his landing point. His self-damage reduction will be reduced from 25% to 20% as well to compensate. For the Battle Blitz ability, they've removed the damage reduction from his self, and now it applies a 20% vulnerability to all enemies within 5 meters of his landing point. For his Stone Haymaker base damage, it has been reduced from 90 to 55, and they've removed the 50 bonus health he gains during the ability activation. However, there is a new effect where it now deals bonus damage equal to 8% of enemies' max health per hit. He also gains bonus health equal to the damage dealt, up to a cap of 100. For Black Widow, it's all team-up changes. They've removed the Operation Microchip team-up with the Punisher, and now they've added the Primal Flame, which is a team-up with Phoenix. Does your team need another healer? Well, look no further, because Black Widow can heal with their Phoenix Sniper team-up. You can turn this on at any time, and all your bullets will now heal. It does significantly less damage if you shoot an enemy and you can't headshot them, but every time you shoot your teammate, look at that, you are healing them. Alright, for Blade, also mostly team-up changes. Lunar Force, the team-up with Cloak and Dagger, has been removed for him, and now he has a team-up with Moon Knight specifically called Blade of Khonshu. Blade now gains a new ability called Eclipse Edge. When activated, he does a quick slash and a dash forward, and then 4 follow-up slashes that bounce to nearby targets and does a lot of damage. This goes on a 20-second cooldown when you first use it, and you have about 3 seconds to do those follow-up 4 slashes. For Hawkeye, they have increased the Archer's Focus maximum bonus damage from 75 to 90. Now for his team-ups, he's losing the team-up called Chilling Assault with Luna's Snow, so that ice arrow is gone, and now he gains a new ability with Cloak and Dagger. This new team-up with Cloak and Dagger is called Moonlit Slash. This one's actually a very simple add-on. All it does is give the Crescent Slash, what would normally do damage and knock enemies back, an extra effect where if it does hit an ally, it will heal them. For Mr. Fantastic, Reflexive Rubber can now be used during the inflated state after reaching 100 elasticity. They've also removed the 350 bonus health upon entering the inflated state. Instead, he now gains 350 max health and a one-time heal of 350, which is removed upon exiting the inflated state. For Moon Knight, he is losing the Lunar Force team-up with Cloak and Dagger, and he now is the new anchor for Blade. That means he gets a 5% damage boost this season, which wasn't there last season, so it's a straight-up buff. For Phoenix, they've adjusted the Cosmic Flame's maximum fall-off at 30 meters from 60% of its damage to 75% of its damage, so that's a buff. For Spider-Man, they've reduced the Web Cluster Energize time from 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds, and they've increased the Amazing Combo damage from 60 to 70. For Squirrel Girl, they've increased the burst acorn damage from 100 to 110. Storm is becoming more of a team player because the weather control thunder damage boost to allies will be increased from 10% to 12%. And then when you're using the goddess boost, that damage boost for allies will be increased from 12% to 15%. Or the Punisher, he's getting some buffs to his base health from 275 to 300. His adjudication maximum fall off at 40 meters is increased from 70% to 85% of its total damage, so that's a buff. They've also increased the pellets fired per deliverance round from 14 to 16. When you look at the side by side, it looks like nothing really changed, and that's because he is losing the team up anchor bonus from Black Widow, Operation Microchip, and that means he did lose that previous seasonal bonus of 25 HP and 5% damage boost, but it seems to be compensated quite fairly on his base kit. He should be around the same power level. For Wolverine, both his Savage Claw and Vicious Rampage percent damage for each point of rage will be increased from 0.045% to 0.057%. For his Pharaoh Leap cooldown, that's also been reduced from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. Now onto the strategists, we have Adam Warlock first. They've increased the Soul flight speed from 6 meters per second to 12 meters per second, and they've also reduced the Karmic Revival, which is his ultimate energy cost, from 4,700 points to 4,500 points, so it builds a little bit quicker, and they've increased the ally detection range from 30 meters to 35 meters. Cloak and Dagger receiving just a survivability buff. They've increased her base health from 250 to 275. Now, Gambit is next on the list here based on the order we're going in, and he is the brand new strategist for the season. However, his kit is extremely complicated, so we're going to break that down in a separate video. So we're going to move on. For Invisible Woman, they are buffing the orb projection 3 ways. First, the hit damage will be increased from 25 to 30. The projectile maximum range increased from 30 meters to 35 meters. And the projectile speed from 120 meters per second to 150 meters per second. For her force physics, that's getting a buff in its range from 30 meters to 35 meters as well. And then finally for her Guardian Shield, it has a new effect where if no Guardian Shield is present, pressing the recall key now deploys the shield in front of Invisible Woman. Loki needs some buffs pretty badly, so they've increased his base health from 250 to 275, and they've adjusted the mystical missile damage fall off at 3 meters and beyond from 50% of its damage to 80% of its damage, so that's a buff to it. There's also a new effect where direct hit on allies for the healing portion will heal an extra 10 health specifically. Finally, for Rocket Raccoon, they've reduced the BRB cooldown from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. They've increased the repair mode max count from 5 to 7, and the projectile speed from 60 meters per second to 80 meters per second. They've also increased the bombard mode projectile speed from 150 meters per second to 180 meters per second. That's it for now. Honestly, thank you all so much for making it this far and sticking around still and watching my version of the patch notes breakdown. There's plenty of other great creators who do it. I just want to say something. I'd honestly be lying if I told you I've been playing much Rivals over the past 6 months. I haven't, and it's pretty difficult to make other pieces of content for Rivals, like reacting to hot takes or Reddit posts, when I'm not really keeping up with the community as much as I used to. For now, though, patch notes and sometimes hero breakdowns will still be coming wherever possible. And yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate you.